So in this video, I want to go over the biggest lessons that I've learned from Charlie Morgan, and few people in this world have had a bigger impact on my business success than Charlie. So for context, he runs an 8-figure consulting company called EasyGrow. He's making millions and millions and millions per year. He's still under 30 at this point. So he's done this in a very short amount of time, and he takes a very principled, focused approach to business and life in general. So I thought in this video I'd share everything with you, because these are the things that helped me go from starting out to working with over 30, 40, 6, 7, and 8-figure marketing agencies, help them build out acquisition systems and scaling them up, as well as our company too. So the first major lesson that I learned was the application of focus. Now, everyone's going to tell you, yeah, you need to focus, you need to focus, you need to focus. But an example that I saw from Charlie was, obviously we need to focus in our work. We need to, remove distractions, all these things. But one crazy story that I heard from him was that when he was following the course at the beginning of his career, he found a great mindset video. And what most people do when they find a good video, they watch it once, maybe a second time, they take some notes, and then, they move on with their life. But with Charlie, he watched the same video, the same mindset video from a course every single week or every single month for 3 years. He didn't look for any other course. He didn't look for any other mentors, any other coaching program. He didn't buy all these, 997 courses online. He followed one and only one and watched the same video over and over and over, because he understood that if he's not where the person who made the course is, he still has so much more to go. So if he's not implemented to the absolute highest degree, it means he hasn't learned it completely, which is why he didn't move on to the next thing. So he would just watch the same thing over and over and over, and most people would never even consider this. But because the video was good, because the video gave him so much benefit, he just rewatched it over and over. So the main lesson that I got from this was, obviously we need to focus in our business. Obviously we need to remove distractions. Obviously we need to focus on the priority tasks. But at the same time, we also don't need 1,000 different mentors, 1,000 different books, all these courses online. If we find one person that knows what we want to do and have done it, then we just need to follow what they say, right? And the same if you find a great book. You don't need 10,000 books, you just need the best one and to read them over and over and over. So the next lesson that I learned was around life setup, specifically for younger guys, because the thing is, when you are young and you have, literally millions in the bank, there are endless things that you could be doing. You could be buying supercars, you can be, seeing all these girls, you can be going all these places. But in many situations, it can become a major distraction, stopping you from actually doing the main thing, which is the business. So Charlie took a very different approach to most people. So, most guys, they think networking, being on social media, being active, they think this is the highest leverage thing that they could do. So they spend all their time, trying to meet new people, having all these conversations, having all these dinners, going to all these places, spending all this time on Instagram, viewing people's stories, whatever, but they never make significant progress on the business. As much as their life may change to a degree in that they meet some new people, their business or their financial success remains the same. But the approach that Charlie took in this situation was that business is the big domino. If you can grow the company, if you can make it so that you have a phenomenal company delivering amazing results and you're getting cash flow in every single month, every single year, then everything else will come from that. Right? So he wasn't trying to network the entire time. He didn't have Instagram. He didn't have social media at all. And he just spent his time building the business. But because he built the business, everything else came from that. So while most people think that, for example, on social media, you just need to post every day and you need to be active 24/7, that's how you grow a following. What he did was he grew a business. He started a channel and he spoke about the business that he grew. So because of that, he had so much credibility behind what he was saying, so that he built the audience so quickly because he had that credibility. Think of people like Hormozy, right? They started making videos after they were successful. And because he built this brand now, networking is done for him, because people just find him because of the content that he was making, because he had the business in the first place. So while most people start out trying to do the networking, Charlie took a different approach in that he focused on the main thing, the big domino, which is the business, which helped him grow the brand a lot quicker, which helped him do the networking without him having to spend, 12 hours a week at dinners, buying lunches, all these other things. So genuinely, if you are in the situation where you are spending all this time on social media, trying to network, going to all these lunches, delete it. You literally do not need it. If you just focus on the business and focus on creating this system, creating this asset, everything else will come from that. And the final lesson that I'll share in this video, and there's obviously a ton more, is to focus on systems over anything else. So one of the biggest things that I noticed about Charlie, specifically around speaking to him and viewing the program, is that every single system that he had could genuinely be followed by a 10-year-old child, right? They are all that simple, they are all that detailed. So when you have a system that easy to follow, for example, doing outreach, right? He will literally say, open LinkedIn, click this button, click this button, click this one, scroll down a little bit. It is that in depth to the point where nobody can fail using the system just because it's so clear. And the reason that most people don't do this is because it's difficult. It really is difficult to get your thoughts out onto a system or to create the system in such a detailed way that literally any person can follow it. But because he does this, because he goes to this extent, because he does the things that most people don't want to do, he doesn't actually require super high level talent. Because what most people do is when they want to do outreach, for example, they'll hire, let's say, an SDR, a sales development rep, someone to do the actual outreach. But what they want is to hire the person and have the person create the system. But the problem with that is that there's so much room for error, right? They may not have a proven system. They may not do it correctly. They may not do it to the way that you like it or you think it'll be best for the company. So Charlie's approach is have the system, make it as detailed as possible, and then find someone to follow it. But when you do it to this detail, anyone can follow it. So you're not wasting money on ridiculously high level talent for a basic role. I've seen examples where Charlie can literally get someone who just, who are in high school or university to just follow the system because it doesn't require any thinking. It just requires the action. So the lesson that I took from this was that whenever I build a system and whenever I see problems in the system, so for example, building an outreach system and I see it not booking meetings, instead of me looking at first the person and focusing on what the person is doing, my main focus immediately goes to the system. What are they following? What is the procedure that they have in mind? What are their expectations? What do they think good looks like? And by focusing on the systems first, every single other person that comes into the role will benefit from that. But also, it just adds a lot more clarity because at that point, it doesn't become a person problem, which are a lot more complicated. It just becomes a system problem. Are they doing it or are they not doing it? If not, okay, that's a person problem. And if they are doing it, and they're still not getting the result, then it's a system problem. It just simplifies the entire process. So those are the 3 lessons that I learned from Charlie Morgan. There are a ton more, but I thought I'd keep this video relatively short. If you want some more information about what we do for our partners right now in terms of building out acquisition systems, you can just check the link in the description. But otherwise, hope you found this video useful. If you did, subscribe for more, and I will talk to you in the next one.